Unfortunately, it has been heavily hinted lately from the lead design director himself on Star Wars Battlefront 2, Dennis Bramville, that those promised female heroes might not be coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Very, very sad. Let's get right into this. I am sorry I'm only just covering this news, but it's been a very hectic Christmas period and is about to be a very hectic New Year period for me, as well as you're probably watching this video, so apologies for that. But let's get right into these comments. So Dennis first of all replied when asked about these female heroes with this: "You're right, we didn't get to the female heroes part, new female troopers coming in this update obviously, so I'm sorry for that. We did deliver on a lot of things I outlined long ago, conquest-like experience, large-scale PvE mode, Obi-Wan and Grievous, instant action, etc. And then he followed up with this tweet as well. Me too, to be honest, saying so many things back then was very risky and I shouldn't have done that. Looking back, things change quickly in this industry. I just felt the community needed to hear it back then, so I felt the risk was worth it." And if you're wondering what these tweets refer to, here is the original tweet from Dennis Bramville, basically saying yes, we will be getting female heroes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 at some point. Why is the female heroes thing so important, some of the newer players might be asking? Well, back when Grievous was added to Battlefront 2 in October of 2018, there was some files found that had voice lines from Grievous directed towards Ahsoka Tano and Padme Amidala. Now they're both light side heroes. Obviously we get a light side hero and we get a dark side hero when heroes are added into the game, and a lot of people were thinking Ventress to go alongside Ahsoka, although we've never had anything like pointing towards Ventress in the files. It seems pretty obvious you would add Ahsoka to the game and Asajj Ventress, two beloved characters. And yeah, with Padme, we were thinking, who could it be? Maybe Jango. The devs kind of hinted towards Cad Bane, but it could have even been a female bounty hunter like Aura Singh, for example. And it is very disheartening to know the situation with the female heroes at this point, especially as a Clone Wars fan, knowing that Ahsoka and Ventress may never make their way into Battlefront 2. A lot of people like myself are thinking maybe February for the return of the Clone Wars. But you know what's even worse? That this cancels out other heroes too. Jyn Erso may never make her way into the game. Back when the Solo movie released, why didn't we get any of the heroes from that in the game? This is probably why, because they were never working on them in the first place. Dennis kind of just said that to build up hype in the community. Once again, with episode 9, there was a few opportunities there, and I'm not just saying I want female heroes in the game, I'd happily take male or female, but ever since that Clone Wars announcement, they've been very low on the hero talk, and then out of nowhere, BB-8 and BB-9E were announced, which was interesting, problematic to say as well. But I think we can all agree that over BB-8 and BB-9E, which I'm fully for, I think they're going to be very interesting, and it's no secret that the characters in Star Wars do have droid companions with them, but I think we all would have preferred some actual normal heroes and not droids, and if that was to be females, if that was to be males, I would have been absolutely happy with it. But this is definitely cancelling out any of that happening now, and if Dennis had maybe spoke on this a bit earlier, we could have just had our expectations at an all-time low as far as heroes in general, because it doesn't look like they're working on them. This could be wrong. It 100% could be wrong. Dennis could call me out on this, and I would say if you are watching this, Dennis, please do call me out, call anyone out who's talking about this situation, and please address it properly, because these comments, I won't say are vague, but they do contradict your previous comments on this situation, and I think it does need to be addressed properly. I'm not saying go out and say Ahsoka 100% confirmed or 100% not confirmed, but it's spreading a bit of misinformation. I'm trying not to do that with this video, but at the same time, there's so much hype for Ahsoka, hype that I have created, hype that other YouTubers have created, and I think something does need to be done about that. Like I said, especially with Clone Wars Season 7 coming, although it doesn't look likely that Ventress is going to be in these specific episodes that are airing, a lot of people still thought, well, maybe we're going to get Ahsoka and Ventress, and that could be very unlikely at this point. While it's no secret that also the Battlefront gaming industry is dominated by male fans, that can be shown by my YouTube demographic and a lot of other people's YouTube demographics as well. There are female fans out there, and I do feel for them, because it would be unfortunate not just to have fewer females in the game, but to be promised. This is the bad part. He promised this stuff, and they're going back on that now. I wouldn't like it if that was done to me, and and I'm a huge Ahsoka fan, so I'm feeling this as well. But it's dishonest, and yeah, you may have wanted to create hype around the female heroes, and I fully understand that. But how many other things has Dennis now said, like the weapons overhaul, for example, he talked about a few months ago? Is that not going to come true now? Okay, he didn't necessarily promise it, but all the hints Dennis has ever made, does this undermine that now? Because I'm feeling so let down. The fact that Grievous had lines towards Ahsoka and towards Padme, it could sound here like I just care about Ahsoka not coming. Of course, this affects the possibility, like I said, Jyn, solo characters, sequel trilogy characters, Ventress. It really is quite annoying. And it also worries me because as far as male heroes go as well, the only ones I really saw people fully talking about, apart from the ones from Battlefront 1, which I suppose some of these I'm about to mention are included in that, but Director Krennic was one of them, for example, but he would have to come with Jyn Erso, most likely. Cad Bane and Django, if they were to come to the game, it would most likely be with Padme. So does this also rule out more heroes in general overall if we're taking a look at the bigger picture? I want to know the specific details on this hero situation at this point. But I will give the devs respect in terms of what Dennis says in his first tweet, and that was the other things he delivered on: the conquest-like experience, large-scale PvE, Obi-Wan and Grievous, instant action. I congratulate you 100% on that, but what I didn't appreciate, and still don't appreciate, with the second tweet actually, is this quote right here, and that is, "I just felt the community needed to hear it back then, so I felt the risk was worth it." You felt you needed to say something to get us hyped, when in actual fact, all this Ahsoka hype kinda did start with that and wouldn't have been created if you hadn't made that original comment. Of course, the game files didn't help that, but this comment was made long before the Grievous voice lines to Ahsoka were ever found. So a lesson learned, I hope. Like I've said in previous videos, I think the priority of EA and DICE right now, judging by what they're doing, is obviously capital supremacy for the sequels, and then they're going to take it to the originals. There's a missing slot in the game right now for it. But where does that leave us on other things? Because they're going to have to get reinforcements in the game for the originals as well. Is it going to be pretty bland, pretty empty when it comes to heroes after BB-8 and BB-9E, which already so much of the community just aren't for that and find it very, very peculiar, which I can agree with. I'm excited for them, but it's pretty peculiar at the same time. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. But before we do finish, a message from the heart here, because you all know I'm the biggest Clone Wars fanboy there is, and I'm not ungrateful when it comes to the content in this game, despite what you may think. I love Obi-Wan, I love Grievous, I'm a big fan of Count Dooku, believe it or not, and Anakin I'm also a huge fan of. But my favourite character since 2008 in Star Wars has been Ahsoka. I've been into Star Wars since 2005, when I was 6 years old. I know some of you are going to do the maths here, others are going to meme, but 6 years old, Cassian Andor line, I know how it goes. However, I've been a fan since I was 6 years old in 2008, when the Clone Wars movie came out. A lot of people didn't like Ahsoka at first, and I absolutely loved her from day one. She's been my favourite character since then. And this has really hit me hard in terms of Battlefront, because I was looking forward to her more than anything. I promise you guys a 24-hour live stream if they added Ahsoka into this game. There was no bit of content that I personally was more hyped for than Ahsoka, and I know when I say this I am speaking for myself, but at the same time I'm speaking for no doubt thousands of people out there as well. There's a lot of female characters in the Star Wars universe, a lot more in recent years as well. If some of them have been greater than others, if some of them haven't been too great, well, that's up to the opinion of yourselves, but I think we can all agree that the big miss here is Ahsoka Tano. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and definitely let me know what's going on here. I think the big talking point of that comment section is going to be Ahsoka Tano, and I'm fully with you there, but remember how many other heroes, how many other hero dreams we have this crushes, because it's a lot. And those Rogue One fans with Jyn Erso as well, like myself, big Jyn Erso fan, are not going to be happy. So let's just hope. Let's hope for something. Rebellions are built on hope, as Jim would say. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you all next time.